Channel. This is JC Rock and Metal Reviews. My name is John, and today I have a new ranking video for you. I will be ranking the Rob Zombie solo albums. So before I begin, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I do rock and metal reviews, rankings, and more. Now, I'm not really going to waste too much time. I want to get right into it, but before I start, let me just say that I don't think he has any bad albums. I think my number 7 pick would be his weakest, but I don't think it's really a horrible album. So let me get into it. Coming in at number 7 is Hellbilly Deluxe 2, Noble Jackals, Penny Dreadfuls, and the Systematic Dehumanization of Kool. So this is his 4th studio album, and obviously the sequel to Hellbilly Deluxe. It was released in 2010, and this is one of those albums that starts off really well and ends really well, but there's just too much filler in the middle, which is why I have it ranked number 7. But there's lots of horror movie references, and I like the first 3 songs: Jesus Frankenstein, Sick Bubblegum, and What. And towards the end, there's Werewolf Women of the SS and The Man Who Laughs. So those are all really good songs. Coming in at number 6 is Educated Horses. Now this one is really good. It's his 3rd studio album, released in 2006, and you know, they start to get a little experimental on this one. And like I said, I do like this album a lot. I think there's just like a little bit of filler in the middle, but it does have some great songs like American Witch and Foxy Foxy. Those are really awesome songs. Lords of Salem is a really good one. You know, this album has John 5 on guitars. He does experiment a little bit, like he does play some acoustic guitars on some of the tracks. But overall, this is a decent album. Rob Zombie also said that it was influenced by many glam rock artists, such as Slade, T-Rex, and Gary Glitter. Coming in at number 5 is the Electric Warlock Acid Witch Satanic Orgy Celebration Dispenser, and this is the 6th studio album. Came out in 2016, and this is just another strong album all the way through. It's a short album, only 30 minutes long, but it has like an industrial metal feel. The song titles are horror movie oriented, and you know, it's just everything you want in a Rob Zombie album. It's kind of more of like a throwback to his earlier work. We got those like horror themed short instrumentals, which is cool. But the song I really like is The Hideous Exhibitions of a Dedicated Goat Whore. And that song has the throwback sound, has some heavy guitars in it, has some pretty cool like eerie organ playing. It almost reminds me of Inagata Davida by Iron Butterfly. I mean, like the organ sound. So that's a really cool song, and this is a pretty good album. Coming in at number 4 is the Venomous Rat Regeneration Vendor. It's his 5th album, released in 2013. I like this one a lot. It has a very like classic rock feel. They have a cover of Grand Folk Railroad, We're an American Band. And even if you look at the cover, it kind of looks like this like 60s cover of like a vinyl record. It has Dead City Radio and the New Gods of Supertown. And this one reminds me of a Doors song. And you know, it just mixes the metal and the Doors. So I thought that was pretty cool. And this is just a good album start to finish. Like I said, a lot of classic rock influence. And another song I like is called Rock and Roll in a Black Hole. Very good. Starts off, has like this like synth bass, some spoken word, and this one reminds me of like the band Ministry. Not a long album, 38 minutes, but it's a good listen all the way through. Coming in at number 3 is the Lunar Injection Kool-Aid Eclipse Conspiracy. This is the new album. It's his 7th album. I did a review of this, but I'll talk about it again. I like this one probably a lot more than a lot of other people. I thought it was just very experimental. I like the instrumental interludes, you know, a lot of variety on the songs. And I think this album also includes like some of his best songs that are as good as the stuff on the first and second album, which will be the next ones I'll talk about. The Internal Struggles of the Howling Man, that's an awesome song. And The Triumph of King Freak, another awesome song. I mean, those were the singles released, but there are other good songs on this album. A lot of experimentation, and I do like the song Crow Killer Blues. That one grew on me a lot. Coming in at number 2 is Hellbilly Deluxe, 13 Tales of Cadaverous, Cavorting inside the Spookshow International. This is the debut album, released in 1998. Just a mix of industrial metal and horror films. It was very successful, reached top 5 on the Billboard 200, and has a lot of his most famous songs. Dragula, that one was on the radio a lot. Living Dead Girl, that was a really great song. I really like the music video for that one. It's based on this old horror movie called The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, and it's just a really good album. It's heavy, a lot of references to horror movies, and it's just what you would expect from a Rob Zombie album. This one is more straightforward metal and horror. They didn't really experiment too much, but this is a great album. And coming in at number 1 is The Sinister Urge. So this is his second album, released in 2001, and it is a straightforward industrial metal album. It has some of his best songs, like Never Gonna Stop. Now that's a pretty cool like metal song, but it does starts to experiment with like this like dance influence. And there is Demon Speeding. That's a really great song. It was a moderate hit too. And Scum of the Earth, that was another song. It was featured on the Mission Impossible 2 soundtrack. But the most popular song, and probably my favorite, is Feel So Numb. And it's just a solid album, start to finish. They also did a music video for Never Gonna Stop, and that was inspired by A Clockwork Orange. Okay, that is it, only 7 albums. So why don't you let me know what is your ranking of the Rob Zombie albums, or if you like, just give me your top 3. But I'm interested in hearing what you thought of my ranking, and let's get a conversation going in the comments section. So that is it. I'm posting this on a Monday night. So that means tomorrow will be week 4 of my Metal March Madness. So please, you can check that out, and you can go back to week 3 and still vote if you like. But otherwise, that is it, and I will see you in the next one.